All right, all right. What's going on, party people? Everywhere. Friday. Fritter Friday is back. Later tonight, Fritter Friday, we will be back. Hopefully, I'll have some time to get everything that I want to get together. But Fritter Friday will be back tonight. I guess you could say it was an Olympic break. Took off for the Olympics and the training that I was doing. And, whew, boy, it took me a couple of days to recuperate from that. And I tell y'all, people don't realize that when you're really doing some training, and it's really hands-on, it can take a lot of your energy out. So I'm finally recuperated. I had to get a couple of days of early sleep. Okay, where's my light at? All right. But yeah, so we are back. Okay, there we go. Man, yesterday I posted a video talking about a $50 POA, and I purposely didn't give all the details because I wanted people to just give me their honest reaction to it and all of that. And I thank y'all for those who commented. I appreciate it. And what I was trying to, and what I've been trying to get folk to understand is that there are multiple ways to run this business. One of the things that I've discovered, and if you notice this, please say so in the comment section, whether you noticed it or not. If you noticed this, put a 3 in the chat. Okay, if you notice what I'm about to say. What I've noticed is that some people are trying to make the notary business, basically everybody has to run it the same way. If, it was like everybody was on loan closings. Now that a few people don't like loan closings anymore, or it's not popping for them anymore, well, now I'm over here at estate planning. Now that don't work. Now I'm over here at Apostille. Oh, that don't work. I'm back. I'm in the field inspections. Or now that ain't working. I'm over here, doing whatever. Okay, now I'm moving away from notary full time, and I'm gonna do it part time, and I'm gonna expand out, and I'm gonna do 15 different lines of businesses and stuff. And it's like they're looking for everybody to follow the same pattern, and that's what I see here. It's like this is where it's at. Loan closes is dead, but yet I'm at 64 for the month. If I don't do anything else between now and next week, through next week, I got 64 that I would have done. 50 in the first 15 days of the month. So loan closings aren't dead. Refinance has been popping off left and right with the VA, with the Veteran Affairs people. So I'm sitting here, I'm like, where is this? And if y'all have noticed that, it seems like, and people won't say it directly. It'll be more subjectively, be like, they're alluding to it. They're alluding to the fact that, we all should be doing the same thing and acting the same way and operating the same way. And that's not the case. That is not the case, with the notaries. So that's what I've noticed. So what I've been trying to portray and get people to understand is that everybody is operating differently. Some people, like the gentleman, I can't remember his name off the top of my head when I need to, and then you got folk keep cutting in front of you. The fingerprint guru gentleman, I don't know his full business model. I think the bulk of his work comes through the fingerprinting. He doesn't do work with any signing services, and as he said, he does a lot of his work, or his work exclusively through Google. Well, it probably took some time to get that way, and the way he markets and this, depending on where he lives at. Some people have their business set up that way. Some people are in a position to do it that way. Other people are not. I've tried to Google. Maybe there's things I could do to make Google better and my stuff better. But I tend to have, as I've always shared, people who are primarily just notaries searching for pricing. But I don't get a whole lot of people in the area doing that. Now, this isn't indicative to him. There are some people who are using Google and they don't do any signing services. They don't do any loan closings. But guess what? They're charging people an arm and a leg for very simple notary services that they shouldn't be charging them that much for. Now, I'm not saying that he is, because I don't know his pricing structure at all. So, and he knows this is not toward him, because I've said this over and over again about people before I knew fully. I just knew from other conversations that he's given in on his YouTube channel when I watched him, and you know how he uses Google and all of that. But there's other people, they're unjustifiably charging people because they don't want to do the loan closings, because they don't have a printer, because they don't have a scanner. So the point that I'm trying to make is that in this business, you got to really stop looking at it through a narrow lens and really ask people what their business model is and why they are doing what they're doing. Because I'm telling you, people lie. And again, this is not to the fingerprint guru, because that is not a lying man. That is an honest and upstanding man. And I have nothing but pure respect as a man to man, and business wise for him, because I know he does things right. But there are people who look like they're doing things right, like he is, and they're not. There are people who look like they're, charging a fair price like he is doing, and they're not. So you, as the person who's consuming this information, can't get caught up into thinking that everybody is out here with integrity, and they are not. There are just some straight scoundrels out here. So you got to realize everybody's business model is different, and some business models can't be implemented in certain areas. What he's doing probably can't work in a very, very rural area to some degree because of distance and stuff. That person may have to find a different way to market themselves. Because if you're in a more senior area, they might not be on Google. If you're in a high energy area where people are just constantly going, they may not look at Google as much. They might go to Thumbtack. You see what I'm saying? They might be on Angie's List or whoever, or Angie, whatever the heck it's called now. Shaquanda, I don't know, Shaquanda's List, Earl's basement of things that can get done. The bottom line is every area is different, and people look for services differently. Yes, Google makes it seem like Google and Bing and Yelp and all of this is the end all be all everywhere, but it's not. And that's what you got to understand, that everywhere in this world is different, and they function differently, and the demographics within your own city, like where I'm at right now, the people around here, their mindset and the way they operate in this part of Virginia Beach is different on what they call Northwich Duck Road. Their vibe is different than the people in my neighborhood and the people that are on the ocean front at the beach. Down there at the beach, you're going to see people in more flip-flops and this, that, and the other. People around here, you're not going to see that as much. And then there's other areas of Virginia Beach that you're going to constantly see. Every time you go there, somebody's doing their jogging, trying to stay in shape. And then other areas, people, they just out eating barbecue all day. And you have to understand how to market in those areas. And then you have to say, okay, well, I don't want that type of client. And then that's fine. So as I've always shared, there are signing companies, title companies, and lenders who operate a wide variety. They're high-end, medium, and low. And the thing is this: everybody can't operate. Every single business out here can't operate on the same level who provide those services, because there's not enough customers in that arena. High-end clients, if there's 22,000 title companies, there are not enough clients, high-end clients, to support. There's not enough clientele to support 22,000 high-end title companies. If the title company said we're going to be high-end and all of our services are going to cost a minimum of $2,500 a pop, how many high-end clients can pay that? I'm telling you, it's not going to be 22,000. It's just not. And see, this is what you have to realize about business. There's different levels to it, and people need to be serviced at each one of those levels. The question is, are you willing to service them at that level? If you are, cool. If you're not, cool. I'm serious. You have to find your niche. So while he may be able to deal with that end level of clientele, and that's not even saying that what he's dealing with is high end. It might be medium. It might be low end compared to other things that's going on in his area. But nonetheless, that's a demographic that he is marketed to and he's able to capture. You can go and capture a different market that's around him that he doesn't service. For whatever reason he doesn't service it, that is his, let me make sure I get on this curve. That is his prerogative, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's no shade at anybody who says I'm doing high end, doing low end. The thing is, you got to find out where you fit in and get in and make money. And there are many, many people who started at the bottom of the financial scale of what people can pay, and then they eventually moved up. And then those people who you moved up from got to go find another service provider. It's that simple. Cell phone companies do it all the time. Verizon is very, very expensive. People didn't like Sprint, and they're like, okay, Sprint for the little trash people. That's what I used to hear. I'm not saying that it is. And then it's like the high end people feel like, well, I'm on Verizon. Ooh. Okay, fine. Verizon may have started off as a low inexpensive way of doing, and then they branched up. But then you got Boost Mobile, you got Metro, you got Boost Mobile, all these different things for the different demographics of people. And you need to understand that when it comes to business, and stop trying to be like everybody else. There's nothing wrong with being high, medium, or low end. You be where you're at, because the thing is, I deal with people of all categories. I deal with folk who are on the high end side, the low end side, and the medium grade side, whatever you want to call that. So there's people out here who will pay me over $200 to do a closing. There's people that will pay me $20 to do some type of work for them with regards to notarization. And there's people that'll pay me $100 or $150. So there's all these different varieties of ways I can make money, and you do it. Now, the other side of the house is that a lot of people who do very limited or specialized notary stuff, what I've seen, and I don't know if this is with the fingerprint guru gentleman, because this part I don't know, and I'm not asking and trying to find out, but from my other experiences, and I've shared this, so this is not new what I'm sharing, about to share here. And put a 5 in the chat if you've come to notice this also. A lot of people who have limited time, or put limited time, or very, very measured time into the notary business, whether doing especially the loan closing part, I would say mainly the loan closing, they tend to have other more solid revenue streams coming in, and they're not using the money from the notary business as a main way to take care of themselves. And this is what I keep sharing with y'all. I do this full time. This is my main thing. So I don't have, okay, we got to get around this person. They just driving with their hazards on, playing on a cell phone. I don't have the luxury to get too picky on my orders, because this is money that I'm missing out on to take care of my family. That's what I'm trying to get y'all to understand. And everybody's, like you said, that's your business model. Everybody is different. So if I had other things that was bringing in the money to take care of the bulk of my household financial responsibilities, yes, I most definitely would be looking at notary different. I would be operating the notary business different. I wouldn't be into, I'll be like, okay, and I ain't gonna take that. And I would only do probably the $100 or the $150 or the $200 orders. But when you're not in that position, you have to work it differently. And that's what I'm saying. So like, if a person has a storefront, and the store of selling widgets, as Steve Lato would say on his YouTube channel, the store that he has to sell widgets, if that's the only business he has and that's the only stream of revenue he has, he can't be too picky about, well, I don't want that customer, this customer, unless the person is stealing. It's like, okay, come in and try to service them and provide them what they need. and sell to them. And sometimes they got to be open earlier and open later and spend more time in the store to accommodate the people who will buy their widgets. But if you got other revenue coming in and your spouse got a W-2 that's making six figures or high six figures, you're like, okay, I'll open it up Monday and Tuesday, and then Friday and Saturday, and maybe on Sunday. You have options, and some people don't have options. So you have to evaluate yourself. You need to inquire about the other people who are telling you the way you need to run your business, and find out what's going on with them. And hopefully they will be honest. And that's why I'm glad he clarified and said, because that's why I kept asking the questions, and I was trying to lead him to giving the details without asking for it, because I like people, if you're going to make comments, I like people to just go ahead on and give the details, like, well, the reason why I do it this way is because of ... because I don't do signing services, I don't do this, I don't do that, I only work this way, that way, and the other, or I have a clientele. Great. So now the people see that, oh, you can get a clientele to where you don't need signing services. Or, oh, okay, got it, he's in a different category than me, because that particular clientele around here, I'm not able to connect with at the moment, because I'm a new notary and I'm a little nervous, and I don't know if I don't have the wherewithal as a new business owner to even go in there and approach them yet. So I'm just trying to get people to see the variations of how you run a business out here. And what I would ask is that those who comment, when you say, well, I don't do this, that, and the other, give some context to it. Because new notaries out here, I'm telling y'all, because I get the phone calls, they'll call and say, hey, yeah, this person's on your channel said that this is what they're doing, and I'm trying to do what they're doing, and it ain't working. I'm like, what do you mean? Well, they said they don't, they charge this and they demand that. And I'm like, and then when I go back and I figure some stuff out, it's like, oh, well, that person is working direct. They got a different business model. They're doing things differently. Or that person isn't really doing the notary business full time. They're doing it, semi-part time. So all of those things matter. And this is what we have to realize as more experienced business owners, that the way we communicate what we do and don't do without proper context can clearly mislead other notaries. And especially if they don't have the ability to have access to you, to inquire. And then at the same time, I know some people out there, some ladies have told me, and even some gentlemen, well, I ain't got time to be talking to people. I don't feel, and this is, again, not to the fingerprint guru, because me and him have not had a conversation, like this. But, and I don't know if anybody ever reached out to him, and nobody has told me that. But I've had people say, well, they just need to figure it out on their own. But I'm like, okay, but you made a statement that made people think that what you're saying is this way and the other. And they're like, well, no, that ain't what I mean, because see what it is, I got this and I got that, and somebody, connected me with this and that. And I'm like, why don't you say that? Well, I ain't got time to be saying all of that. Okay, but you're making it seem like you're on the same level as them, and it's just popping for you like this. Oh, no, I ain't like that. No, I'm way beyond what they're at. Where they're at is here, and I'm here. Why don't you share that with them, so that can at least give them an idea of what they can aspire to? And people don't tend to want to do that. They don't really like doing that. They just want to make a statement, and then people are like, huh. And we don't think that people understand that we got different variations of business models. And that's the core of what I'm trying to get us to understand here. We have different variations of business models. I don't know what is up with these people today. Sink. I don't understand, and we have to realize that. And I've learned that, myself, because I've made statements and not clarified it. And sometimes that's why y'all be hearing me like, okay, Grip, there you go again, talking around in circles and keep repeating himself. Because what y'all don't realize is that I'll say something and I'll think that I've said it clear. And the vast majority of people will be like, no, I understood what you said. Because I'll call different folk that I know, and I'm like, no, and they're like, no, I got you. I understood what you were saying. So I'm like, okay, that one or two persons, they for whatever reason, they didn't get what I was saying. It needed to be said a different way. So sometimes I'll come back and do another video and try to lay it out and express it in a different way for the people in the back and the people on the side. That's why I do it the way I do. Because I'm trying to get people to understand that here it is. People they hear things differently. They're looking at videos on 2x speed, which is fine. I'm not against that. I do it every now and then myself. But sometimes they don't catch stuff. They're doing things. They're playing with people, the kids' hair and all this, that, and the other, and they miss out on things. So that's all I'm trying to share with y'all. So let me go ahead on and get in here to these people and get them all taken care of. I don't know which way I have to go here. We got these guys. Do not like these gated communities. All right. Well, y'all have a good one. I'm going to post this up as soon as I can. It's a little bit 9 o'clock now. So hopefully I get this up real soon for y'all to look at. But yeah, Freedom Friday's back on for this Friday, August the 16th. All right. Talk to y'all later. Peace.